Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Sunday morning. With us this morning is Governor Andrew Cuomo, and he's going to give us his perspective. We have a new year. How are we doing in our city? How are we doing in our state? How are we doing in our country? And how are we doing in the world? Well, Governor Cuomo, I mean, you had a few months off. Are you ready to go back to work?
I'm ready, John. I never really take off work, you know. I'm from the old school. We work and we take care of our family. But good to be with you. Good to be with your listeners. And thank you again for everything you're doing to help make the city a better city.
Well, yesterday I had the new speaker of the city council, and she sounded okay. And we're depending on. The city, we have a mayor that's, we still hasn't been proven. We're depending on the city council speaker for checks and balances. We're depending on the governor for checks and balances. And this morning, I had the U.S. attorney from the Southern District on, who has instructions from the president to make sure there's checks and balances over New York and the money they spend on behalf of Washington. What say you?
Well, look, as you just pointed out, you have a lot going on, right? First, the new mayor, we wish him well because we wish the city well. And I think you're right. The new speaker, Julie Menin, she is a good lady. She's experienced. She's moderate. She has her head on straight. And I think the council can be a moderating influence for this mayor. And I think we need a moderating influence for this mayor. I think, and again, I ran against him, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. But I think he's more interested in politics than government. He doesn't really understand government. He has very little government experience. It's politics. Now people say, well, politics and government are the same thing. No, they're not. You have political positions, symbolism, virtue signaling these days, and then you have government that actually is an art form that you have to understand what an agency does, how to make a bureaucracy work. And I think he's about the politics. And you look at just this since the inauguration. Again, you see the politics that he's been reinforcing. Two main themes. He's anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian, whatever you want to call it. And the major actions he's taken have signified that. He rolled back the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism. He undid Mayor Adams' executive orders that stopped boycotting of Israel. And you've seen increased anti-Semitic activity in the city, John. 2025, more incidents of anti-Semitism against people in New York than all other hate crimes combined. And I think anti-Semitic people have been emboldened by this mayor. And the second political theme is anti-rich. The rich are bad. Yeah, but they also pay taxes, Well,
48% of the taxes paid in New York is paid by 1% of the people who are doing well.
Yes, and that's true statewide. We have a tax code that is heavily skewed, dependent on the rich. So, and post-COVID reality in America, you don't have to be here. You're more mobile than ever before. You can zoom in, zoom out, remote work. You're seeing it in California also. You demonize the rich, you increase taxes on the rich, they will leave. Infusion into Florida, that's real. So he's continued with this politics over government, which I find unfortunate, and because the mayor of New York is a mechanical job first. You run the schools, and if you don't have good schools, people leave for the suburbs. You pick up the garbage, you keep the city safe. His ending the daily briefings on terrorism from the police commissioner was another bad signal, I think. He was a very young fellow during 9/11. But those of us who are not as young, we remember 9/11. And to suggest that terrorism is not a major threat and you don't need to be briefed on terrorism by the police commissioner was a very bad signal. And I'll leave it there. But the speaker, Julie Menin, hopefully steps up to the plate and is a counterbalance. You're also right that Albany is going to be very important here because the city can't do anything that the state doesn't empower. Really, the mayor controls the New York City Police in accordance with state law, fire, sanitation. But if you want to change tax policy, you want to change child care policy, education policy, you need the state. And the state now, Governor Hochul's up for re-election. She's looking over her shoulder to the left, and she's looking over her shoulder to the right. She's afraid of opposing the mayor because she could get attacked from the left. On the other hand, if she doesn't stand up to the mayor and these socialist policies, you'll see the Republican wage a very strong campaign because this is not a socialist state. It is not. And people have serious concerns about this mayor. Remember, in our election, he has no mandate. He won 50%. And that's with me and Sliwa in the race. Many analysts have pointed out that if Sliwa wasn't in the race, I probably would have won because he was, not only did he take points, but he was a terrible distraction, and he attacked me more than Mondami.
Well, I nobody ever understood that Judge Weinberger especially kept saying Mondami is the clear and present danger. Why is he attacking Cuomo?
Look, Sliwa, I've never had a great love for. New Yorkers forget, guardian angel. They forget, John, the fraud that he perpetrated on New Yorkers, how he made up stories about his heroism, saving people, which was all fabricated, that he was kidnapped by the New York City police, all fabricated. He's a showman. He's an entertainer. He's just wants to be in the press. And that's been his whole career. But why you would attack me instead of a socialist, given that he's supposed to be a Republican? And look, it didn't work. He got something like 7%, right? The majority of the Republicans supported
just
me.
above 7.
Yeah.
Is that the lowest ever for a Republican?
Yeah, it's the lowest I've ever heard of.
Yes, I've never heard of a number that low.
Right. But so it's going to be up to the governor, the state legislature, which again has a big far left contingent, a big socialist contingent. But if they're not careful, the Republicans could have a strong November. Now, that in part is going to depend on President Trump and how he's perceived, because the midterm elections basically are a referendum on the federal leadership. It could get complicated here in New York because the socialist threat is so big, but the president's issue, yes, it's the economy, stupid. It's always the economy. And Americans are very pessimistic. Gallup polls said something like 70% of Americans are pessimistic about the economy. But I think what President Trump has to worry about is not just the economy, at one point, John, there's a fatigue factor with the drama, right? There's an authoritarianism that is displayed by President Trump that I think Americans may feel they need a need for balance, right? Venezuela, but nobody knew. Whatever you think of Maduro, right? I think the situation in Minneapolis is really troubling with the ICE agent shooting Ms. Good. That's really, I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever. You look at that video, and it is concerning. And the president saying and Noam saying that was justified. Honan, actually, who tends to be very conservative, Honan, I think, was the most responsible. He said, I'm not going to say anything basically until there's an investigation. So I think that the president and the president's performance and the economy is going to be determinative of the midterms. But again, with this unusual fatigue factor of just so much drama every day, you're afraid to open the newspaper, right? What happened now? So I think he has to watch that. Stability and balance often brings stability, and balance would be put the Democrats in charge of the House.
Well, I guess, it's going to be an interesting next 6-7 months between what happens with the Democrats versus Republicans. And right now, I guess the California congressman died, and maybe the majority is only one or two people now. So it's, it's interesting.
It is going to be very interesting. And it's going to be especially important for cities. I was the HUD secretary under Bill Clinton, Housing and Urban Development, so I worked with cities all across the country. Cities were formed because they made sense economically. We had factories. We had places that required large numbers of people to come to work. Then normally by rivers because goods were coming in by water. Post-COVID, the economic rationale has changed. You don't have to be in the city. So it actually increases the burden on the city to be competitive. But too many cities are going the other way.
Well, after J.P. Morgan spent $4 billion building in New York City, they now have more employees in Texas than they do in New York City.
Yeah, and that's happening all across the board. I mean, California, L.A., San Francisco. The city has to be attractive. Homeless encampments in L.A., San Francisco. And then the mayor here announces he's not going to stop homeless encampments. The crime rate, the fear of the Jewish population in New York City. I would never have believed this. And the mayor, who has refused consistently all through the campaign, refused to say that he opposed expressions like globalized intifada. That has, I think, emboldened those anti-Semites. You had a protest in Queens, John. Say it loud, say it proud, we support Hamas. In Queens.
Yes.
This is not a bunch of radicals in Manhattan.
Governor, we're almost out of time. We got a minute left. What do you want to conclude this Sunday morning?
I want to say we have a lot of challenges ahead of us, and we have to stay involved, and we have to stay informed, and people have to speak up, because this is a transitional moment for the city. We either go up or we go down. And democracy works when people participate. So, yes, I'm working and you're working and New Yorkers are working, and we have to work together to make sure we're making the right choices. Not the political choices of the moment, smart choices, common sense choices that lead the city forward.
Governor Andrew Cuomo, thank you for everything you've done for our cities, and it's good talking to you. And I hear that you may be talking a little bit more on WABC in the near future.
I think your station has an audience that is participatory and large, and it's very important, as I said, that we understand what's going on and we have an informed dialogue. And your station is a great vehicle to do that, John.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor, and let's catch up again real soon in the new year.
Good deal.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.